All right, let's really have a fireside chat about getting your mind right when taking this program and just this business in general. Understand that this is not a race. This is a game of this business and this industry is a game of progression. How are you progressing? How are you getting better today than you was yesterday, than you was last week, than you was last month, a year? It's about learning and taking the steps because everything is built off of momentum. And if you're comparing yourself on what everybody else is doing, all you're doing is making yourself less confident because you feel like you should be further along because you're looking at everybody else. I remember when I first came into this industry and I was looking at E.T., the hip hop preacher, Eric Thomas. I was looking at Tony Robbins. I was looking at Brenda Bouchard. I was looking at Les Brown. I was looking at all of these other, guys and women and everybody else who was further than me. And I was like, wow, I wish I was there and I want to be there. And at first I was feeling bad that I wasn't there. And then I said, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. So then I started charging these astronomical prices and then nobody was buying. And then my confidence fell down even lower. I was like, oh man, I really can't do this. And it was because I was in a comparison game. And I want to really um, impress upon you that it's not about you seeing somebody else and feeling like you need to be where they're at. You need to stay committed to your journey. This is why you keep hearing me say 90 days, 90 days, 90 days. Like stay committed because I've noticed like if you keep that momentum up for 90 days, it makes the sailing a lot smoother because at that time you got your program structured. At that time, you understand the fundamentals. That don't mean you've mastered it yet. There's a difference between like, so even if we look at the PCS map, I don't care if you make it through the PCS map or even if you finish the playbook, at the end of the day, it's about mastering the process, right? So even if you technically checked everything off, you still have to master this process because you can check everything off and not make 5 grand a month or not make 6 figures. You feel what I'm saying? So because it's not about just doing tasks. It's about you understanding the fundamentals of what it takes to succeed and then doing it over and over and over at a higher and higher and higher level in order to generate your income, right? It's like saying, I technically know how to do a layup. I technically know how to shoot a 3 point. I technically know how to, make a free throw, right? But just because you made a free throw before or you made a 3 point shot, what does that mean? That you're going to get paid the most contract? Does that mean you're going to win a championship? No, you got to know how to do it in game dynamics. You got to know how to do it at full speed. You got to know how to do it off the pick and roll. You feel what I'm saying? Like you got to know how to do it double teamed. You got to understand like how to do this in different areas of your business in order to succeed. And then guess what? Everybody is coming to the game with a different level of experience. So you can't compare yourself from somebody who has been doing this either longer than you or somebody who's just they kind of just pick up this technology thing because maybe you're older, maybe you don't get the tech, right? Or maybe you're younger, you don't have as much experience, right? Like so whatever it is, don't count yourself out. Just realize that this is your own journey and it's gonna take and you'll pick up momentum and pick up steam. So let me give you a visual of what this looks like, right? So think about it like this, right? So let's say we got 3 people, person one, person two, and person three, right? Let's say person one, they've never done this online thing before. They didn't, you might not be techie, this person might not be, they might not know about all the features. They might not know about this, different type of apps to use. And you know what? Right now, but they know how to help people because all you need, and you've heard me say this before, all you need is what's in your head and what's in your heart. And if you got those two, we can figure everything else out. But I can't give you the passion. I can't give you the heart to do it, the passion to do it, and I can't give you the knowledge that you've gained and experience and wisdom and the expertise and skills that you've gained to give your audience. So you got to have that in your head, the expertise and experience in your head, and you got to have it in your heart, the passion, want to help. If you got those two, we'll figure everything else out, right? I got you on that. So we looking at, so let's just say person one might not be making that much money, if any money, because they just started. They don't know. You're trying to just figure this thing out. It's your first time jumping out the gate. You know what I mean? Doing it. Right. So you might not have any clients, you might not be generating any income, and this whole world is new. You was like landing pages, what? Lead magnets, what is that? Right. So you don't know even know the industry lingo. But guess what? You have person number two who maybe they know a little bit more. Maybe this is a person who's already hung their hat as a coach or as a speaker, even before they might have came into this program. This is somebody who knows the industry lingo, they know the industry terms, you know, maybe they've been getting a client here or there, but it's not consistent, right? But they kind of understand it. They know some of the industry people who are some of the other people that are doing it. They're familiar with some of this world, right? And maybe they got some level of income, but they're not success. It's not in their terms, they're not successful in doing this yet, right? There's not something that they could go full time doing. You feel what I'm saying? So it might be that. Or you might have another person who, you know, who they've been doing this for a while. They've been doing this for a while. They've been consistent, you know, doing it, but maybe there's just some tweaks. They're looking to scale. This might be the person who, you know, might be making 5, 6, 7, or 10. They come to me making 10 grand a month, and it's like, okay, like how do I take this thing to the next level, right? How do I take this to 20? Or somebody who's making, you know, $2,800 a month, and it's like, okay, well, how do I make, you know, 8 grand a month? Or how do I make 5 grand a month? How do I make 10 grand a month? Right. So this is the person who they have some things running and it's consistent, but they need to take it to another level. Right. But guess what? You don't compare, if you hear, you don't compare yourself to 2 or 3 because they got different levels of experience. Maybe they have different resources that was available to them. Maybe they just started this thing before you. And guess what? Don't feel bad because there's certain things that you have, there's certain advantages that you have over them. Right. So it's just, that's all. I promise you, that's all it is. It's so funny that I was talking to I had a guy who came into the program recently, and he was like, man, you was so crazy that I'm older than you, but he was like, yo, I'm calling you coach, right? And like, you teaching me all this stuff. And I said the only reason that that's happening is because I've spent years learning this, learning online marketing, learning how to coach, learning how to speak, learning how to communicate, learning how to design programs, learning how to teach curriculum, right? Learning how to, you know, market and learning how to sell. I spent years doing that. So that's why I'm proficient in this. And that's why you can call me coach. But I said, look, that's in this area. I said, and the guy I happened to talk to was a fitness trainer, right? And I said, look, I said, if I come over to your lane in fitness, I'm calling you coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, you telling me what to do, what supplements I need, what I need to eat, how I need to work out. Like, I'm calling you coach. I'm learning from you. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I say don't get caught up on all that, because it's just the fact that people have their own areas of expertise, and be okay with that, and be okay where you're at in the journey, and just take it one day at a time, one step at a time. Stay involved in the community, keep the Facebook group lit, reach out to your fellow peers, join the sessions when you can, or watch the replays, access the resources, fill out the worksheets, and just do it day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And I promise you, you're going to stay consistent. And we're going to be having this conversation a year from now. You're going to be like, you know what? I'm glad I stayed the process. You know, I'm glad despite the obstacles, despite the things that came in my way, despite the deaths in the family, despite despite the fact that I got into an accident, despite the divorce, despite the I had to move out, despite the health scare, despite all of these things, I continue to grow, I continue to make an impact, and I continue to live my passion. And that's ultimately what's going to lead you to leaving a legacy. All right. Was this good? All right. Hopefully it is. All right. So, so with that being said, you're making some good progress. You're making some good progress. All right. So in the next video, we're going to talk about getting to work. Ready for that? All right. Let's go get it.